We'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am sitting out on the dock, and I got something serious to talk to you guys about. You know, everybody likes drama in their TV shows and stuff like that, but we don't enjoy drama in our lives. It's not the kind of crap that you need going on, or stress, or whatever. It's just the stuff that you don't need on your mind. But in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys about a situation that I'm in. I'm not gonna name the person, and it involves an animal, and I'm not gonna name the animal. If you guys try to guess the name of the person or the animal in the comments, I'm not gonna respond to it because that's not where I'm at. But I do know that the story is already getting spread in the reptile community because I've already had people call me, so I just wanna get it out there. A couple years ago, somebody that I would have considered a very good friend was in a life situation, and I had to house some of their animals for an extended period of time. A couple of animals. I watched those animals for, gosh, I'd say about a year and a half, and then some more animals. They got into another life situation, and more animals from that person came to me, and watched more animals. And then at a certain point, that person came to me and said, all of those animals are yours, because the life situation they were in. And that's when we also purchased a couple animals from that person. Now, that person is asking, not for the whole group of animals or anything, that one specific animal. And that one specific animal is one of our favorite animals. When that person approached us maybe 2 weeks ago, saying that they wanted this animal back, Kagan was immediately in tears and upset. And I kind of took a step back because that person has done a lot for me, the channel, the animals and stuff like that. And they even brought up the fact that I said, if you ever wanted it back. And I did say that on that day that they said that I'm giving you these animals. And their response was, no, that animal is yours. I want you to have him. He is yours. That's pretty definitive. Now, any of the animals that were his for that period of time when I was just watching them, I did not pair them with any other animals because I don't want to hurt somebody else's animal. They were just existing, being fed, cared for, all that stuff. Now that they were cemented as mine, then I made plans to acquire females or, you know, move stuff around. As you guys know, I've been dialing in the collection to kind of tighten it up and only have the specific animals that I need, whether for breeding or for content for the channel. You know, the ones that have the personalities and are tame, or the ones that have a purpose for breeding. And this animal fits into all of that. I would consider it important for the channel. Emotionally, as a family pet, maybe more than a family pet. It's one of our favorites. The answer was no. It was given to us. When you give something away, there's a word for it when you ask for it back later. It was 100% given to us. So when that person proposed that, Kagan and I took a step back and we had some conversations about it. We were gonna offer some other animals to kind of calm the situation, but it's a situation, once it's asked, I almost feel like there's no good outcome. Like no matter what, you're going to butt heads with somebody that you really respect. And it came down to that. When we said, you know, it's a hard no on that, but we could do this or that, the person got very irate, upset, and I understand the love for an animal. I think at the point that person, when that animal first came to me, they had that animal in their care less than I have had it in my care. Actually, none of that matters. The fact that it was given to me is all that really matters. But they are implying that I'm not giving their animal back. And once you give it to me, it's now my animal. I don't have to give it back unless that's part of the agreement. I'm a very honest person. I don't take advantage of situations and stuff like that. I'm big on handshakes. I'm big on my word. But here's where it gets bad. If somebody all of a sudden didn't like me over a situation like that, there's nothing I can do. People are complicated. Situations are complicated. There's nothing you can really do to make some things better in life, and you just move on from it, right? But at the end of the conversation, when they got upset, they took it a step further and said, if you don't give this animal back, you won't have any animals. Now that's threatening everything I own. That's all my animals. And it's, they hung up after they said that, and I quickly messaged that I don't take threats lightly, because that threat means somebody's going to come onto my property, trespass onto my property, because my animals are on my property. They're in the center of my property. You're going to trespass on my property when I'm home, when I'm not home, or this is where it gets serious, when my mom is here watching the animals. Now, when you think about it that way, like when we go out of town for a weekend, my mom stays at the house. There's 4 dogs here. My mom does have a gun. And she's the kind of person that can take care of herself, but you know, is this something she needs to deal with? So I'm not taking it lightly. If somebody wants to fist fight me over something that we don't agree on, I don't care. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid of that. I do not care. That person bumps into us at the Daytona Reptile show and has something to say, I don't care. Not afraid. But I'm not going to take that threat lightly. So last night we got off the phone. Other people that I know in the community have contacted me since last night, today, letting them know that that person has said something to them. I ordered 22 solar security lights for the property to add more light into any of the dark areas if anybody walks around. Made sure that all of our cameras are charged up and good. Some of the enclosures that we were maybe more relaxed about putting carabiners on instead of locks. Things are locked. I've already talked to my neighbors. 2 of them competitively shoot guns, and I'm going to share the notification from our motion cameras to also notify, because you can have it notify multiple phones. So now it's going to notify their phone. If I'm out of town, my mom's here, they're going to be notified that there's motion on the property. So any minute, any hour now, the lights are going to show up. I'm going to hop up a ladder on one leg and start moving and hanging lights. I should be resting, but I don't give a crap. I'll go do that. Kagan's got all the cameras being charged. Maybe we'll even move some of the locations of some of the cameras, because they're in videos where they are, and I would rather be in a more surprise location. And you know, I've always gone by the whole saying that a lock only keeps honest people honest. Like, somebody wants to take something from you, they're gonna take it. But if myself or my neighbor catches them in the act of trying to take something from me, they'll regret it 100%. I know on a lot of the videos I act like Mr. Rogers, and I'm just calm and lighthearted and stuff like that. But if it comes down to being serious, I'm a serious person, and I face the situation head on. Somebody, I know where they live, I know where their business is, I'll track the person down. it won't be a coincidence if something happens to that animal or any other animals. It's blatantly obvious. And that's why I'm making this video, to make the whole community, because again, you don't have to guess. You guys probably know exactly who and what I'm talking about. If something happens, we already know who did it. So I'm gonna put the camera down, and some of the lights that are around the cages, I'm gonna hop up a ladder 1 foot at a time and unscrew those lights so I could move. I've got a new style light that's coming in to go up around the enclosures. We're gonna go knock out the lights. I don't care if people see where the motion detecting lights are. There will be some hidden on the dark corners of the property, so there's no sneaking in odd areas of the fence line. And I'm not gonna let the dogs sleep in the bedroom in their comfy beds. I'm gonna keep them out in the main room where they're more apt to hear noises on the property or see the lights turning on and off. I'll open the blinds so they'll see things illuminated. The dogs will let us know if something's going on, and we'll be prepared if this person wants to act on whatever they're saying. Good times. But all that being said, I am more apt to be able to handle this kind of drama than the crap I was dealing with. To me, that feels like a hopeless situation. The stuff a year or 2 years ago, that's drama you can't handle yourself. This is stuff, no problem. So I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna start pulling some of those lights down, and we should get a shipment of lights pretty soon. All right, so now the shipment of lights came in, and I am driving the golf cart around the outside perimeter of the enclosures. These are the lights that I had on all of the corners. I think the entire enclosure had 4 of these on just the 4 corners of it. I think I'm gonna do 4 across each front and then 3 across each side. And that's where one of the lights was mounted. I can actually hop up 1 rung and stand on 1 leg and unscrew those mounts and then mount the new light. And I'll spread them out 4 across the whole front. Sorry, I can't even walk backwards, guys, to give you a better angle. That's all I can do to lean against the golf cart. This is gonna tax me trying to do this on 1 leg. And then I'll start a little bit in for the first side light, get 1 center. And you know what? I'll show you once I do it. Let me get the first 4 across the front spread out. Looks like it's gonna rain shortly, so I gotta rush as much as I can rush. Oh, the difference in the lights. Yeah, those are the old lights that were on the corners. These are the new ones that I'll probably spread out on some of the dark corners of the properties. And these are going to be the ones around the enclosure, screwed. Very unobtrusive, not that big, but still a very powerful floodlight. And I can spread them out and grab anything moving from more areas. These are not going to alert my phone, but they will create the light and light stuff up better for the security cameras that are going to be hidden. So this will only help me get a better picture of motion or who it is. It'll just be better. Some of those dark videos, just you're not going to make out who it is. So we'll put a little bit more light on the subject. I'm going to get started. All right, the rain has held off for me, and I have, I don't know if you guys can see right above, you're hopping with me. Right above the doorway, there's 1 hung. There's 4 across the front and 3 on each side. We're gonna hop to the golf cart. Whoa. This is so much fun. I should be resting my leg, but I'm doing this. But it's gotta be done. Okay, now we're in the back of the enclosures, and like I said, I have the 4 going across the back. There's one floodlight above each door, and before I just had this one ring camera. This is what was doing my entire backyard. We have a bigger Wi-Fi range extender that now enables us to get cameras in further spots. We've had cameras new in the box that we haven't put out, that we were gonna use for breeding purposes and put into the enclosures. I've got all 16 of those floodlights out. Then we got those big ones that I showed you. These are the old ones that have been taken down. Now these are not necessarily bad. There's some in that corner. I'm gonna set all of those onto the cleaning table over by the pond. And then tonight, I'm gonna go and check and see which ones of those are good. I feel like some of them were not working. So I hid 6 of those around the property of the brand new ones. And whichever ones of those that are good, those are gonna get put out in any of the dark areas on the property to light them. Anywhere I think somebody, they could sneak up this fence line, hide behind these trees. Everything's gonna get illuminated. There's not gonna be a dark spot to hide. And then lastly, we have 18 cameras that are gonna be put out through the property that will notify us via cell phone. 6 of those, like I said, will link to one neighbor. 6 of those will link to another neighbor as well as myself. If my mom is staying here, I will link her onto all of them. And we just ordered 2 more floodlight ones. So like I said, this camera was the sole camera for my entire backyard. The animal in question, we're hiding a camera in its enclosure. Nobody's gonna enter that enclosure and go towards the hide box without getting their face on a camera. And that'll be sent to me. They could smash the camera. We already have the video. That's all you need, breaking and entering. It's a locked hallway, it's a locked structure. You break in, there's consequences. And then we're gonna have, so then I'll have cameras in the hallways instead of just the backyard, as well as hiding cameras. Like I said, 18 cameras. There's 6 that are around the house, and then 1 will be dedicated to the shop. The room where Kagan's snakes are, we'll have a camera in there. Tool shop, bar, all the regular places, and a whole bunch more places. And we'll just order more cameras for the breeding purposes of the animals. Kagan was a little upset when I confiscated some of those cameras for my needs. I have them placed out. You know, I was able to hop up a ladder to do these lights on here. Kagan helped me do the floodlights around the property. The security cameras I'm gonna need her help on, because each one, even if we get it hung, she could leave me there on the scooter and I could sit with getting them connected one by one and go through that process. It's not a fast process, but it's a necessary one. Hopefully this, I'm gonna say human being. Like I said, a week ago, I considered this guy a very good friend, so I'm not even into name calling yet. He made a threat, I'm reacting to it, but hopefully he sees this and maybe sees that, one, I'm not taking it lightly, and maybe bringing up the fact that, you know, you're putting my mom in danger if you think you're gonna come and do something and she's the one watching the property. I'll bury someone for that. That's not an idle threat. That's something very serious. You can't just go around and make threats like that about my animals, and that's insane. That somebody just thinks you can just say that, and if they act on it, God forbid, things will get ugly. I'll update you guys. I'm sure, like I said, some people I know have been contacted, as more people do. Our phone call conversation with this person last night was recorded, so we already have that for evidence. I texted them afterwards, and then they pretended that I had the wrong number. Just didn't want their actions in writing, which is very criminal as far as I'm concerned. So I was very happy that we recorded the conversation. We'll see what happens. We're gonna get those cameras up and do everything in our power to secure our property and be ready if anything happens. And for that person, like, if you decide you're angry at me and you're not gonna take it out on my animals or my property and you wanna take it out on me, I'm gonna be at Daytona. As simple as that. You can do whatever you need to do, but at least my animals will be safe. I think that's all for this one, guys. Can we get past all the stupid drama? Can we get back to just enjoying animals? Holy cow. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring that notification bell. I'll see you guys soon.